And today's off and on rain did not stop people from showing up and celebrating the progress being made at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Today, the annual State of the University speech, where the general public, along with potential and current donors, are invited to the campus to see how their contributions are helping to make a difference for students who call the Island University home. And the university is expanding. Just over the past 2 years, the college has grown to an additional 10,000 students.
We continue to grow in every different area on campus, and not only in quantity but also in quality, which I think is incredibly important. We want to have an unparalleled commitment to every student's success. We want to make sure that no matter how large we become, every student is treated as a valued individual.
That's Dr. Kelly Quintanilla, of course, the university president. She says the university is looking at adding new degrees to their engineering department, including a degree in civil and industrial engineering. And she says the university is also growing with the addition of their newest building, Tidal Hall, which will house their new life sciences department.